Okay, so yeah, so he's almost running into my horse.
Yes, and see, even with my foot on him right there, you know,
he was still pushing.
He was still really trying to push into me to come up. And then he wanted to trot. I really had to get him going because he wanted to trot up and stop right there.
Okay, all right. Hey y'all, my name is Nate Eicher from Eicher Ranch in the great state of Texas. With me today, I have Sally and her horse Sam. And Sally's been having a little trouble with Sam as far as at the lope in guiding him, right? Like he's not guiding exactly like you want him to guide and kind of pushing in toward other horses sometimes.
Yep.
What can you tell me about that?
Well, if I stay on the outside and I keep that big lope circle going on, he tends to be okay. But if there's other horses in his area, then he wants to almost find safety in those other horses, and he wants to lope, and he gets smaller and smaller and smaller on his circles.
Okay.
And especially if you're at a show and you're in the warm-up pen or something like that, and there's two people talking, you know, sitting there in the middle talking on their horses, then Sam wants to come in and join the conversation. You know,
just be social, be a social horse.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll work on that. We'll get to it right after this. We're getting ready to work through Sally's issue with Sam as far as him, you know, cutting that corner when you're loping. And so basically the way I look at riding, trotting or loping like that is I want to ride every stride. So when you're asking him to move out, what he is doing is ignoring you, which I think you know. So we're going to go back to the jog for a little bit, and what I'd like to see you do is pick up that inside rein a little bit and apply your right foot and have him move out instantly.
Okay, so do I want just his shoulders to move out, or do I want him to have front feet and back feet moving out?
I want the whole body, all 4 feet moving out.
Okay.
So I want a responsive horse. So as soon as I apply my foot here, I want a response to the left at the walk, trot, and lope.
Okay.
So what's happening is when you're going to lope him and you're picking up, he is not responding. As simple as that sounds, right? But he's just not responding right away or even a little later. He's just kind of ignoring you. And that's a common problem. Like we have to just teach them to be more responsive.
Okay.
So let's see just start walking out here in a right circle, and let's see what it looks like when you go to move him out. Let's say right here, you're going to go ahead and just move him out there a little bit. And when you're moving him out, you're applying your right calf and then your heel, your spur. And there's a 1, 2, and 3 position, and I'm in the 2 position. You should be in the 2 position. And when I touch my horse with my calf or with my spur, that doesn't mean anything except prepare. But when I push or roll that spur up, push my calf or push my spur or roll the spur up, that is when it means move over.
Okay.
So let's just do that again. Apply your calf. And then, so he's not really responding, so go ahead and roll that spur a little bit. And see here, that's where he still didn't really respond the way I like to see him respond. And you were really kind of pushing on him pretty good there. So even at the walk, he's not responding like we'd like him to.
Okay.
So go ahead and try it again. Now go ahead and ask him to step over. Now move his hind quarters over. Pick up your right, like pull your right rein and ask him to just step his whole hind end around. A basic hind quarter yield. There we go, now walk him out. Okay, now ask him again. Just a
All the way around?
Side pass over. And if he doesn't, we're gonna do a hind quarter yield. Now hind quarter yield. Because he still didn't really, go ahead. I'd like to see a little more step in there. See, he's moving his front end, not his hind end. That's the front end. We want the hind end. See, okay, stop a minute there. So you're pulling here.
Okay.
You're pulling here, and he's pivoting on the front end. Okay, so pull more toward your saddle horn. For some horses, you can pull here, and it helps them. And like in his situation, because it's a shoulder issue, you're gonna have to pull more toward your saddle horn, like lift up his shoulder with that rein. Like we're asking him to move, there we go. His hind quarter. Now let's walk out again. And what I'd like to see more of is all 4 feet moving around, and I'll demonstrate on this horse. So when I'm picking up here, I want to see all 4 feet move like this.
Okay.
I'm not letting the front end get locked down to do that hind quarter yield. Does that make sense?
And so to do that hind quarter yield, his front end is locking down?
It is, yes.
And I don't want that.
You don't want that because that's not what we're doing when we're loping.
Okay.
We want all 4 feet moving over. Now, hind quarter, more hind quarter. There, release and walk forward. He responded better that time. So we're going to reward him for that. Now, let's do it one more time. There we go. That's a response. Now walk him out. Okay, so we got a couple good responses at the walk. Now let's just go ahead and ask him to jog up into a nice slow trot. Good. And he's really good at this. Like, this is getting to be one of his strong points. So now, as you're jogging, just go ahead and shorten that inside rein and ask him to step over with all 4 feet. A little more hind quarter. And see, pull your rein just a little more to help him find it. And so you're gonna have to use your rein, your hand, and your foot to help him find it. Because he's just not responsive enough off your foot to just do it with your foot yet. So now we're going to step him over. There we go, we got a couple steps. So release him here and reward him. Let him soak and think about it. Now go ahead and tug that right rein, apply your right calf and then your spur, and there we go, and trot him forward. Now do it again right there, because when you let out, easy, there we go, good. Now release and go forward. That was, at first it wasn't very correct in his response, but what I reward is him trying, right?
Okay.
And he was really trying there. Okay, now go ahead and apply your foot and tug with your right rein at the same time. Eventually this will be just your foot. There we go. Okay, pull with your rein at the same time, help him find it, help him find it, help him find it. There we go, release. And you want to get that within 5 seconds if you can.
Okay.
Ideally with around 3 seconds, he should be stepped over, but sometimes.
And so is he not getting it in 3 seconds? because he doesn't understand what I'm asking because it's me asking?
So
Or,
that's a good question.
or does he just not know what I'm asking?
Let's stop him a sec here. So like that 3-5 second deal, the reason I have that time limit, because if it gets longer than that, you're teaching him how to lean on you. He's arguing with you.
Okay.
So your question was, is he not doing it because you're not asking enough or you don't know what you're asking? You are asking correctly. He is just saying, I don't feel like doing it, basically is what he's saying. He's just kind of like, oh, whatever, you know.
Okay.
So the reason I'm having you do this with your rein is if a horse isn't moving off my foot, and we can teach this from the ground too, but if I have forward momentum, all I'm doing is taking that forward to taking it over.
Okay.
And so I'm just transferring the forward to the over, and I'm starting with my leg because that's what I want my cue to be. And then I'm reinforcing by pulling the rein and helping him find it. Because we can help a horse find it. And as soon as he kind of goes that way, release.
Okay.
Eventually that'll be a straight horse, collected, and just side pass, half passing.
Okay.
So let's try that again. And so when you start, you're going to start with your leg. You're going to have your hand ready. Then right away, just go to a little more leg spur and a little more hand. Just escalate from the cue right to the follow through until he does it. 3 to 5 seconds and you should be back out of him.
Okay.
Like you should have results and be back out. Horses love when we help them find what we're looking for so we can release them because they love to be released. There we go, and release. Now that was a little sticky and all, but he tried and you released. So try it again right here. There, release. Good job, right there it is. That was even better. All right, let's do it again. Pick up. Go ahead, a little more than that, a little more. Pull with your rein just a little more as you're asking. There we go, and release. Good job. Now put your hands completely down. All right, now go ahead and ask for him to step over again. Your calf, your rein, your spur if you need to. There we go, got a little bit. Try to do it all kind of together in a smooth way. Your cue and then your follow through is your hand and maybe the roll of your spur. There we go, good, good. Okay, does it feel like you're getting a little more control there?
Yeah.
All right, try it one more time. See right there? He's kind of fading in toward me.
Yep.
So right there, we're going there. Good job. And release.
And I felt like that time that he started on my calf.
Awesome.
I had to finish with my spur, but I felt like he started.
Yes. The subtle cue is the goal. We're just following through with our spur and with our hand if we need to.
Okay. That felt good. I felt it.
Your horse looked more responsive. So that's what we're after, and we started at a slower speed. So now let's try it at the lope and it won't be perfect today, but let's just see what we got.
Okay.
So first of all, we're just gonna lope and get him loping steady, and then we'll go ahead and do the very same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
See, right there, he immediately started to drop that shoulder. Like when I started to ask for that departure, I felt like he automatically kind of dove in to safety right here.
Okay.
And I stopped him right here, so it's probably bad too, but.
Yeah, so if he does that, I would step him around almost into a little bit of a counter bend where you can see his right eye. Just step the shoulder around because he dove in this way, so we want to push him out that way.
Okay.
Okay, Salye, why don't you go ahead and lope him off and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so right there, it looks like he's starting to dive in.
Yep. And he wants to quit on me?
So right over here, when he first started diving in, what's going on there is he's, if a horse is going around with their back up, their back, is up, they're loping easily. But he started to get flat, like starting to drop his back. And with that, he started to dive in.
Yeah.
So everything just started to fall apart right over there. So as soon as you start to feel that, just ask him to gather himself up by stepping out just a touch.
Okay.
And then letting him lope again. But
okay.
Most young horses will do that. They'll start to get flat and they're going to fall apart. So we put them back together, basically help them carry themselves again, then let them go again.
Okay.
Let's try that again. There we go. Get them loping and put your hand down. Now right here, pick them up. Pick up that inside shoulder. There we go. And put your hands back down. Now do it again right here. Okay, good. Now steer them around this corner. Good job. Now right here, he's starting to get flat. So you're going to, see, you were a little late in picking him up, right? I seen it before you felt it. So right.
Okay.
That was good there. Now, right in this corner, right there.
So
go ahead and just step him around to the outside see his right eye when you're doing it? So you're seeing his left eye? So because of that, when you loped off, he dropped his shoulder. Okay, good job. Now right here, pick him up. There you go, good. And put your hands down. Now right here, pick him up again. He's diving in, pick him up, good. You caught him that time, great job. Right here, pick him up, he's gonna die out. Good, so by doing that, you're keeping him from falling apart. Now here now do it again right here. Okay, great job. Oh, there he lost it. But that's all right. See,
do I stop right here and release that even though he broke gait?
No, I won't. Like when he broke down right there, I won't let him just trot off.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop him or come down to a nice jog.
Okay. I have a bad habit of doing that too.
That's all right. That we'll keep working on that. What I seen was better momentum as far as him carrying himself because you were picking him up every so often. You were picking up that shoulder, that rib cage, and then letting him go again. I'd like to see you let him go a little more, as far as out of his mouth a little more when you release, but it wasn't bad.
Okay.
The biggest thing we're after tonight is when you pick up, he fades over and then keeps carrying himself.
Okay.
Why don't we go ahead and do it one more time? Do it on a left circle.
Okay.
Nice lead departure. Okay, right about there we go. He's got better rhythm over in this side. Right here, you'll pick him up, right here. But you were a little late in that, so he lost his momentum.
Yeah.
And then he got the wrong lead. See right there, go ahead and roll him to the outside. See, I would have rolled him to the outside.
Yep.
See, I would still roll him to the outside.
Okay.
And when I'm doing this, there we go. Keep him really straight in his front end. See, stop right there. When you went to lope off, his nose was to the right, his shoulder was to the left. That's gonna, he took the correct lead. But see right there, stop him and go ahead and roll him to the right with you seeing his left eye. See his left eye. See how he's struggling with that?
Yep.
That's the problem. Like what he's wanting to do with that left shoulder is be pushy with it. And see, he's not responding. So help him move over. There, release. Now do it again. There we go. That's a better response and release when he's, so I would do it again because you released when he was dying out. I want to release when he's stepping. There we go, good. That's a little better. But see, stop right there. When you walked out, instantly he dove left.
Okay.
So I fixed the lope here. You know what I mean? So
okay.
If he went like this, I'm going to just step him around again. I want him light. Now if I come out of it and he goes like this, okay, let's just step around here again. We're teaching our horses balance.
Okay.
So when you come out of that, there we go, and walk out, he shall walk out balanced.
Okay.
Okay, there, that's better.
Okay.
So even in the lead departure, I'm looking for a balanced horse before I'll let them lope off. If they're diving in even in the lead departure, they're going to dive in when we're loping around.
And so in reality with him, because he's real sticky with that, this is a groundwork or a warm-up thing or a groundwork thing to help with once I get in the saddle.
Yeah, it's a lot of body control. Like when you get in the saddle, a lot of just getting them very free with moving their body around.
Okay.
The more free we can, the more responsive and free we can get our horses with their shoulders and their rib cage. Everything is free. Then as we go at a faster speed, like a lope or a faster, like a canter, you know, it gets easier. There we go. But you can tell, like when you were stepping him around there, he's just a little sticky with it yet.
Yeah, and he died out, but I felt like I pushed him past that. He had a couple of good steps and then we walked out.
Yes. That's real good. I mean, that's just where he's at. He's a green horse, still in training, you know, and it's just something we teach him. We build on it. And
awesome.
Let's go ahead and lope off one more time on this left side. Let's see what it looks like. And see right there.
Okay, so right there.
Good job, you caught it.
Right there, as soon as I put my cue on, he turned his nose out.
Yes.
And so to fix that right now, I bring his nose in, like with my left rein, I'll see his left eye and still ask for my departure cue.
So I want to explain something here. The nose, we're not after the nose, but the nose is an indication of what the shoulder's doing.
Okay.
So the reason I say look at their inside eye, be able to see their inside eye as you lope off, is if you can see their inside eye, this shoulder's probably standing up.
Okay.
So if you go to ask for a lead departure and they do this, all I'm going to do is tighten up on my left rein and say walk forward with your shoulder up. And if they're not wanting to do that, then I'll just fade them to the outside and then get ready to lope off here.
Okay.
But that should be very easy for my horse to do if I'm teaching him. Like, it takes a while to teach that, but it should get easier and easier. So I'm not pulling up his neck with my rein. See what I'm doing with my horse here? I'm pulling toward my saddle horn. Toward my saddle pad, saddle horn.
So
see, I'm not coming up his neck and neck reining him. I'm just tugging right here a little bit. And my left foot is driving the left shoulder, the left front foot forward and over.
Okay. So here, right there.
No, down here. Like I'm okay,
Down
my rein is short enough that I'm down here. Like
Okay.
I'm down, I'm not up here with my hands. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Keep everything nice and low, and
More there.
but it's, yes, right in there. But
Okay.
it's so much more about your foot.
Okay.
It's very important to have the correct angle here, but most of what I'm doing is off my left foot.
Okay.
This is just guiding his nose where it should be and saying, hey, shoulder, left shoulder, can you please move right?
Okay.
Go ahead and walk him forward into it. Like he's getting stuck right there. We need just some nice forward flow, and we're going to take that forward flow either into a lope or around to the right, depending on what he's doing. See right here, he's getting stuck. So just flow him to the right. I wouldn't stop him. Like you stopped him and then flowed him to the right.
Yeah.
I would just take the forward over and then forward into the lope. It's not a start-stop exercise. Okay, just go ahead and flow him over. That's all right. He loped off, you know, he trotted into it. We'll work on that the more we ride. Okay, good job. Good job. That was it. Now do it again right here. Go ahead, keep him loping, keep him loping. There we go. Okay, now ask him to walk. Just sit down. There we go. Good job.
Oh, so much to learn.
You know, it's a lot, and as you get into faster speeds, more stuff falls apart, right?
Yes, and it falls
right,
apart as fast as you're going. That's as fast as it falls apart.
Okay. So let's go over what we did out here. What we learn pretty quick is when things speed up, more things tend to fall apart, right? So like going back to a slower speed to work on it is always the best thing to do, in my opinion. And so if I go to lope and they're just having trouble with being pushy, I'm gonna go back to a walk or a jog, and I'm gonna work on that. And then loping is kind of a reward. I still have to work on it at the lope, but I don't do near as much of it at the lope as I do at the jog. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
So did any of that kind of help with how he felt?
It helped tremendously, because even in the show warm-up pen or something like that, he dove in and we wanted to work on him diving into a safety horse or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what I found, my takeaway was that he's doing the exact same thing on the big circle, that it's not a big deal because he's not going to run over somebody.
Yeah, it's just subtle, and you're not really thinking about it probably.
Yes. And so once we talked about it as a problem area, then when we moved away to fix it, it was there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a huge aha moment, a takeaway for me to feel him dive in out there the same way he was diving in here.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was a huge, huge thing, yes.
And if a horse starts to be responsive right away, that makes a big difference. Like if they're, like it's like first time obedience, you know, when you ask it, that's when it happens and you let them go. If you ask it and it takes a half circle to get it, well, they're just learning how to lean on you, how to argue with you. And
if they're responsive, then this area isn't going to be an issue.
That's right, yeah.
You know, the problem isn't there because they're going to fix it out there.
Yep, a responsive horse is always a better horse, always a safer horse.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming over and doing this lesson.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.